I'm gonna run it back. And Yahweh knew their thoughts and said unto them, every kingdom divided against itself is brought to desolation, and every city or house divided against itself shall not stand.
That's now.
And if Satan cast out Satan, he is divided against himself. How shall his kingdom stand? And if I, by Beelzebub, cast out devils, by whom do your children cast them out? Therefore they shall be your judges.
That's right. So he said, how can I be the house of Satan? How can Satan cast out Satan? You know, they were jealous of him, but they labeled him that. You gotta understand, when they crucified him, they was literally making up everything in the world to get this man put to death. They was literally plotting. What did he say? Oh, I know what he said. He said, no, I can't use that against him. Right? I can't use that against him. So they had to. So when Pontius Pilate was like, all right, look, I examined this man, I find no fault in him. And they was like, kill him anyway, kill him. And then he was like, why don't you kill him? They was like, no, we can't kill nobody. You kill him. They didn't have him. They just wanted him out of the picture. So what that says is, the world is gonna hate you, man. The world is gonna literally hate you for this. Do you know how mad these fake Jews are? The fact that we know we're Israelites, that the real Jews are Negroes, do you know how mad they get? They say it's anti-Semitic for us to say that we're Jews. And that don't even make sense by itself.
We're Jews, basically.
Exactly. Because, first of all, Semitic, you say somebody is Shem, you know what they get that from? Shem, right? Noah had Shem, Ham, and Japheth. Shem had many sons. The white man comes from Shem. We come from Shem. East Indians come from Shem. Arabs come from Shem. So Chinese come from Shem. So how is it that this one particular people, if you say something about them, oh, that's anti-Semitic. That doesn't make sense. But you know, you try to fight them with that, they're gonna censor you, right? You say, well, look, you can't. Let me tell you right now, you can't do no videos about these fake Jews. You can't. They're gonna shut it down. They control the media. They control YouTube. They already setting it up where they're gonna say that anybody that's calling themselves a Jew is anti-Semitic. They already do it. The world hates our guts because the truth is coming out, right? And if we know that we're Israel, then the question is, okay, well then who the hell are you? And the question that matters, you are Esau, and you are the chief house of you, like the brother said. You come from Esau had a son, Amalek. That's who, in particular, that's who that nation of Jewish line. That's who they come from. All right, and they was the first nation to come against us when we walked out of the sea. That's why the Most High said, I'm about to cut them off completely, because I remember what they did.
He said, and it was for generation to generation. So that means it's forever.
I'm going to show you that in a prophecy, martial law is prophesied. All right?
This is 2nd Ezra chapter 15 and verse 14. Woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and their destruction draw nigh.
Ezra received visions. He actually saw, just like John the Revelator, like that lake of fire, just talking about America. America's Babylon the Great, right? Spiritual war. America's Babylon the Great. John the Revelator saw this place being destroyed, so he wrote it down. Same with Ezra. Ezra actually saw the end of the world, shall I say, which the world itself isn't going to be destroyed, but life as we know it is. You know, when that whole, were you always in St. Louis your whole life?
No, originally I'm from Atlanta, but like I've been across a few places before I got out here.
Okay, was you here when that Mike Brown incident happened?
No, that was like just before I got out here, like 6 months before I came.
But when that whole thing happened, which that was spiritual, because now, anytime that happens across the world, they say it's like a Ferguson effect. When that whole thing was happening, you know what they were saying here? Oh, it's the end of the world. What they just meant was it's the end of life as they know it. Life as you know it is what? Order, structure, being able to go down the street, right, peacefully. The world coming to an end, you can say it's like a post-apocalyptic type of scene, like the Book of Eli, those type of scenes, right? Where there's no law, people do whatever they want. Give me Matthew's, give me chapter 9.
For the sword and their destruction draw nigh, and one people shall stand up to fight against another, and swords in their hand.
That's not the only prophecy that talks about one nation fighting against another. That's what you call division, right?
Verse 16, for there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another, they shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another, they shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power.
You know what that is? It's what you call anarchy. That's what the powers lie in the people. So they gonna pretty much say, look, we just gonna do whatever the hell we want. We don't care about the cops. We don't care about the police. That's a out of state prophecy, right? That's what we're headed to. All these not race riots, but all these uproars amongst the people across the world, that shows you that these people, like, I don't remember that. Hell, in fact, I had an article I was going to bring out today, but it pretty much shows you that in Britain, just like in every other country, they have these protests, anti-lockdown protests. Why? Because they don't want, what the people see is they see that this is coming. They see that their very livelihood and their freedom is about to be taken away, and they say, what the hell with it? You know, they fighting the cops pepper spraying because the people are saying, I don't agree with the government, and the government is saying, you're gonna obey my word, and my word is that we're gonna shut all this shit down. We're gonna lock y'all up. They already working on having it to where you can't, like in Australia, they got a super lockdown over there. They make it to where you can literally only leave your house to go to the grocery store. They watch you. A woman made a Facebook post and said, hey guys, don't be afraid to go for a walk for your dog. The cops came at her door like 4 hours later and said, you can look it up. It's called the Thought Police. That's what she called
Thought
it.
Police.
Thought Police. They said, do you understand that if we catch you posting stuff that could incite people to go against the law, that we can get you for that, right? You know, so this is what they're doing now. They're tracking what you say on social media. They just had a big gathering of all the big social media platformers, and the government is demanding that they do something about the spread of quote misinformation. So they have Mark Zuckerberg up there, they had the YouTube up there, they had all these people up there, and the Congress demanded. They said, what are you going to do about all this spread of misinformation? This misinformation they talking about is this truth, right? The people are waking up and they're saying, hey everybody, this is a hoax. They're coming to take away your freedom. They want to vaccinate you. They want to take away your very livelihood. So they're working overtime to try to keep that information suppressed. So it's a war right now between the people and the public. And guess what? It's all prophecy. See, these people don't know it. They just like, oh, let's just hope that, you know, by next year everything will be over fine. They said that when this shutdown first happened. That was back in May. Oh, in 2 weeks it'll be fine. Oh, in a month it'll be fine. They talk, you know what I'm saying? We still here. Yeah. And they just hoping like, well, I just hope everything's gonna be all right. They don't know that this is prophecy, man.
Right.
And something else gonna come along.
Something else.
And you know, I meant to quote at the moment you said something about the election, and I don't support Trump, but I also didn't vote, so because I was thinking that, man, even if Trump don't win, things ain't gonna make no difference. And Trump could be, Biden could be worse than Trump.
Exactly. And first of all, those are two devils anyway. You know, the scriptures tell us that we're not supposed to vote. Right? The only time we actually agree to put somebody over us is supposed to be our own people. Yeah. So this voting shit is a bunch of joke. It's a joke anyway, right?
Verse 17, a man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able.
That's martial law, right? That's martial law. You desire to go, you say, oh, okay, I want to drive to Colombia. They may say nope. And right now we can see it happening because they're using this COVID as a guise to set that up. They're trying to make it to where nobody can leave their house unless we say so. They already got the UN troops over there. What are these troops doing over there for? They're about to set up martial law. They're going to shut the city down.
Yep, I was talking to my friend, and down there in Florida, it's an airport that's closed down, but it's full of UN vehicles, the UN paddy wagons, from one end of the airport all the way down the runway strip. Like, it's just full of UN vehicles with cages inside the damn vans and all that. So it been there. I saw it a year and a half ago. You know, so the stage is getting set.
That's right. And what you think they're here for? just in case things go down. No, they're here to set up this society, this new world society order that they want. And what that is complete shutdown where they control everything about you. And that's really because they want to be God. You know, I see you holding that.
1 Thessalonians 5:3.
Okay, go
Yeah,
ahead.
just a quick precept. It's 1 Thessalonians 5:3. For when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them, as travail upon the woman with child, and they shall not escape.
So as soon as they say peace and safety, like heck now, with so-called Biden's election, right? What are the people saying? Oh, finally, right?
Yeah.
Oh, thank
yeah.
goodness. Thank goodness.
Maybe yesterday.
Right. Which that's still kind of up in the air because they could turn around and say no, right? Because Trump technically not supposed to leave until January, and if the society gets to a point where it's too drastic, because we already under a state of emergency, they can make it where Trump says, "Well, I can't leave because the country is too much in turmoil. I have to stay." Right? They could do some stuff. But regardless, people are being happy. That's why the Lord said the day comes as the thief in the night. So the Lord gonna hit these people when they don't expect it. Right? When they think, oh, everything's all fine. That's when the Lord can put the spirit on this white man to just roll on these people.
That's right.
Verse 18. For because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword, and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation.
Right, so that talks about people breaking into one another's houses. So you see the prophecy, when the prophets saw the end of days, they didn't see everything in peaches and cream. Everything was fine. The Lord said he's coming in the midst of chaos. Because World War III is prophesied in the Bible. America's going to be destroyed. That fire is going to come from the nuclear missiles, right? That's going to be shot from different parts of the world to hit this place. That's World War III. The Lord said he's coming in the midst of World War III. He's coming in the midst of all this chaos. We don't know where we're going to be at, right? We don't know. But the end game is when they push that chip, and we can see we at the door already. And we tell people who may be on the fence, we just say, well, just keep watching the news. Because we've been talking about this since, you could say, the 80s, right? And not only us, but you also got those truthers, right? People who know about the Illuminati and stuff. Back then, it was laughable, but now, this is mainstream now. You got a whole country in Sweden. Well, you pretty much got Sweden. Just about everybody over there knows about the chip because that's a normal thing now. Yep. It's Sweden. Just look it up. Look up Sweden. Amazon Go. You can do all that with your chip. You know, this is the normal thing. And what they're getting to now is they're gonna try to mandate vaccinations. And then for you to live, because they already talked about, well, if you don't take the vaccine, you shouldn't be able to live. You should be able to stay home. Or we're gonna lock you up. But just getting the vaccine isn't good enough because how they gonna know you got it? What if you walk into the store and you say, oh, I already got my shot? They gonna want proof, right? How you gonna prove it? It's gonna be by way of some type of digital tattoo. And we believe it's gonna be linked to the chip, right? We believe it and we know we hear it. But it's good news. It's about to get rough, but it's good news because we know we're about to be delivered, right? The kingdom of heaven is for us. These people here, we gonna be ruling in the kingdom of heaven. You gonna sit on the throne. We gonna sit on the throne. We gonna sit on thrones. Yeah. Judging the whole world, and we're gonna have slaves. All right. You got that second mind?
Got it. This is 2nd Esdras, chapter 9 and verse 1, and it reads, He answered me then and said, Measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest parts of the signs past, which I have told thee before, then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. Verse 2 says, Then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made.
Start from the top.
2nd Esdras 9 and 1. It says, He answered me then and said, Measure thou the time diligently in itself.
He said, measure the time. I mean, you're supposed to watch the times. You're supposed to watch the news. You're supposed to try to put two to two together. Why is all this happening? Right? Why is all this happening to us? Or why is this happening in the world? There has to be a reason for this. And just about everybody on the planet will agree that the year 2020 has probably been one of the craziest years.
Right.
There has to be a reason for that, right? Not only just on a social level or civilization, but also with animals and creatures, right? They've had whales bleach themselves. They had so many fires, right? And earthquakes. Everything just been chaotic. Tornadoes and stuff.
Right, and if I can say, the sea turtles, scientists studied that they done develop a type of herpes. Like they call it like sea turtle herpes. Turtles is having like sores and stuff on their face and all that.
Yeah, it's a lot of crazy things that's happened. There has to be an explanation. The explanation is the Lord said that in the end of days you're going to see a lot of signs and wonders. Those signs and wonders are signs that we're at the end. And it's ultimately because the Most High is angry with this place.
That's right.
The Most High is angry with America, mainly America, because he broken the law, statutes, and commandments in the Bible. Everything that the Most High says is right, the white man says is wrong. Everything that the Most High says is wrong, Esau, the white man, says is right. Like I said, gays can marry. You pour foreign transgenderism.
You can eat whatever you want to eat.
Yeah, you can eat whatever you want to eat. Your daughters, it's okay to be whores. Right? Turn your sons out. Turn them into be girls.
Men getting in touch with their feminine side.
Yeah, be emotional. Oh, bestiality. That's the what else?
Inside, and I can't lie, I'm heterosexual, but like I've had the phases before of having a feminine side.
Right.
So if that's against the Bible, then that's another thing I probably need to break out of.
Okay, hey, that's good. That's good because I ain't gonna tell you the truth, man. We had to come back to this word just to learn how to be men again.
Yeah.
Because this world we live in is a women, you could say, a very effeminate society. This world teaches you to put women on a pedestal and bow to them, right? And they